When a small charity, care provider, or a growing business first sets up Microsoft 365, adoption usually happens gradually. Teams and SharePoint sites are spun up organically, relying heavily on the comfortable habits staff already know. Staff often rely on a physical cabinet mindset. They create folders within folders to organize files, mimicking the legacy paper-based filing systems used for decades. This works for a small founding team. But as headcount expands and the volume of daily data multiplies, this organic growth reaches a tipping point. The very folder system built to organize the organization's knowledge begins to obscure it, making information harder to retrieve as the hierarchy deepens. The end result is daily operational friction. Staff waste time clicking through 7 layers of subfolders to find a single policy. Files are duplicated and compliance evidence becomes scattered. Beyond the inefficiency of lost files, there is a severe governance risk. When information is buried this deeply, maintaining accurate access control is no longer possible. Access rules become impossible to enforce at these depths. A manager sharing a link to a parent folder often grants unintended access to dozens of nested subfolders containing sensitive HR or safeguarding records. Deep folder hierarchies create a persistent, unmanaged risk to data security and operational resilience. The core failure of a deep folder system is that it is entirely static. To find a file, every staff member must guess or remember the exact thought process of the person who created the folder years ago. Modern governance requires abandoning these rigid structures for a flat architecture in SharePoint. Documents exist side by side within a single, structured library rather than being buried at the end of long, convoluted paths. Retrieval is now based on file identity. Every document is categorized by its own properties, allowing staff to find what they need regardless of how a folder was named by a former colleague. Consider a typical compliance task. A crucial CQC inspection report might be buried 7 layers deep, hidden inside an operations folder, then a compliance folder, and finally a specific year subfolder. When placed in a flat library, that same file receives smart metadata tags. It is categorized by document type, year, and review status. These tags enable instant filtering. Staff can retrieve specific parameters, like overdue 2024 audits, without clicking through a single path. Metadata replaces repetitive manual navigation with organization-wide visibility and practical control. Replacing folders with managed metadata columns creates a structured asset. File ownership, review dates, and compliance statuses are clearly visible at a glance. Because the structure is flat, managing permissions is straightforward. Administrators set clear access rules for the entire library, reducing the risk of accidental oversharing. For regulated organizations, this means compliance evidence is structured and retrievable the moment a regulator, board member, or funder asks for it. Proper metadata architecture turns a static collection of files into an active, reliable evidence workspace. Many growing organizations want to deploy tools like Microsoft Copilot or automate their daily administrative workflows. You cannot safely automate a digital graveyard. Unleashing AI on messy, overshared, and unstructured data simply exposes existing risks more quickly. Moving to a flat, metadata-driven architecture is the necessary first step for responsible AI adoption and long-term operational resilience. Achieving this level of control does not require buying a new software platform. It only requires correctly structuring the Microsoft 365 tools you already pay for. Adjona Technology helps small charities, care providers, and growing businesses make Microsoft 365 safer, clearer, and easier to govern. Visit adjona.com to start a practical conversation.